Hi everyone, welcome to this video, and this video is all about IPv6. In last video we talked about IPv4 and how those addresses are divided in the octets and the classes of IPv4, but in this video we are going to really dive deep into IPv6. So we can start with an example of IPv6 addresses. So if I compare this IPv6 address to an IPv4 address, IPv4 address was something like 20.1.2.5, something like this, which has 4 octets. So octet number 1, octet number 2, octet number 3 and octet number 4. These are called octet because they have 8 binary numbers. 8 binary numbers, and 8 into 4 was 32 binary bits in an IPv4 address. But if we talk about IPv6 address, in IPv4 we also saw that we can have almost 4 billion IPv4 addresses, which is 2 raised to power 32. So these 4 billion IP addresses are not enough. For now we have more than 4 billion devices on the internet, and these are not enough. And from those 4 billion addresses also we don't use class D and E, so we have even less addresses than 4 billion. So in IPv6 the engineers really thought about expanding our address criteria or address space. So we have now 128 bits, and these are divided into, you can say, hextets. So this is an hextet. This is a hextet. In IPv4 we were having our octets. In IPv6 we are having our hextets. And why we call these hextets? Because they are hexadecimal numbers. Hexadecimal. In IPv4 addresses we were having binary 1 and 0, but in this we are having hexadecimal numbers, so we say them as hextets. And they are divided into 128 bits, like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. 8 hextets are there, so total of 128 bits. So we have 128 upon 8. If you do 16 bits per hextet, these are 16 plus 16 plus 16, all are 16 bits. So if I divide this 2001, 2 here is 0010, 0 here is 0000, then this is 0000, and 1 is 0001. This is 2001. This represents this number. This is an hextet. So there are 16 binary bits here. And if we talk about how many IPv6 addresses we can have 2 raised to power 128 IPv6 addresses, which is a lot more than IPv4 addresses. And we have enough IPv6 addresses to give every device for like a couple of years coming. So we will not be having any shortage of IPv6 anywhere near soon. Now we have, like in IPv4 we were having some classes, class A, B, C, D, E, but in IPv6 we have types of IPv6 addresses. So there are different types of IPv6 addresses. The main ones, I'm showing you the main ones. First one is a global unicast, which is normal address. Every device will be having a global unicast address if it wants to come to internet. So it will always start with a 2 or with a 3. Now we have ranges, I think, which starts with 2 currently, but in the future we can have addresses with 3, 4, anything like that. And these are all global unicast addresses. These are normal addresses, you can say, normal IPv6 addresses. This is delivered to a single interface, and these are publicly routable, means these are public IP addresses, you can say. So you can compare these with public IPv4 addresses. So you can compare these with public IPv4. These are public addresses and these are routable throughout the globe. Now we are having a special kind of address here, which is a linked local address. Suppose two PCs are connected with each other and they want to communicate, then we will use this linked local address. So we don't have to use these global unicast address to communicate between two standalone PCs. We can use this linked local address. Every device will be having this by default. Every device, if you open your own device and you search for an IP address, in your Linux it is ifconfig, in your Windows it is ipconfig. So you can see that these linked local addresses are allocated by default, which will start with FE80, and these cannot be routable, and these are not public addresses. These are kind of, you can say, APIPA. This is automatic. You can compare them with automatic private IP addressing, which is in IPv4. You can compare with them, these linked local addresses. And we are also having a third kind of address, which is a unique local address, which is start with an FC00. So why FC00? These are also non-routable addresses, but these are nearly like your global unique addresses. You can compare these unique local with our private IP address range, which we were having in IPv4 from the 10 range, the 172.16 range, and then 192.168, that range. These ranges in IPv4 was private IP addresses, and these unique local in IPv6, you can compare them with these are kind of private IP addresses. These are also not routable. And we are also having our separate address for multicast. So if you want to use any multicast addresses, you can use FF00, or this is like for subnetting. You don't understand it right now because we don't even discuss subnetting with IPv4. So I'm not including the subnets here. I'm just including the addresses. So if any address starts with an FF, it means this is a multicast address for IPv6. So in CCNA exam also, you can they can ask a question like identify this IPv6 address, what kind of IPv6 address this is. So if it is starting with FE80, this is a linked local address. If it is starting with FF00, this is a multicast address. If it is starting with FC, then it is a private address or unique local address, you can say. So we don't have any concept of broadcast here in IPv6. We have concept of anycast here. Anycast is like identifies multiple interfaces on multiple devices, and these are typically configured on our routers only, but you can look up these anycast addresses also. But I think this will not be asked in the CCNA exam that much, but you need to remember like what are global unicast addresses starts from. Linked local addresses, FE80 is for linked local addresses and FC is for unique local addresses. These you must know before going to the exam. So I have a like diagram here, a little bit like crumbled, but you can say linked local addresses are the most, like you can say, private address here. Two devices can use to communicate with each other. They will not go over a link. So this can be only used in a single link or single connection. So they cannot span over these different connections. You cannot communicate with suppose there are three PCs, PC A, B and C. These both can communicate with a linked local address, but these A and C cannot communicate with the linked local address. But these B and C can communicate with the linked local address because they are connected to the same link. So this is how these linked local addresses work. These works only in a link or in a connection, you can say. Now these unique local addresses which I mentioned, these are like private IP addresses which you can if you want to like set up internal private address space, then you can use these addresses also, unique local. These are not routable addresses, but if you need routable addresses, there are enough routable addresses in IPv6. And as the IPv4 is getting costlier and costlier, the IPv6 is a safe, you can say safe route to take. So you can use global unicast addresses there to route, and general IP addresses is like these global unicast address. And if I also confirm this via my Cisco packet tracer, here you can see two PCs are connected. These are nothing, just PC0 and PC1. And if I go here, I have not configured any IPv4 or IPv6 addresses. You can see here, and go to PC1. Yes. So you can see these link local addresses are already predefined. So if I take another new PC here, suppose I'm taking this PC, and if I open up the IP, here you can see this link local is already assigned to this PC. You can communicate between both of these PCs via a link local address. So the IPv6 is not set yet, but you can communicate between two PCs without any IP addresses with these link local addresses. And if I try to go and if I try to give any you can say link local address here, FE80, and then I can give 1, and if I can give 8 here, you can see this is invalid. This is saying it is invalid. And if I go here and if I try to use any multicast address here, I'm using a multicast address here, and here you can see it is also invalid. So you can only give, suppose I am now giving a normal global IP address here, IPv6 address here, which is this one, and if I try to give this, this is a valid address. So you can see the starting of addresses are different, like basically the start of an IPv6 address, you can identify in which category this address will fall. So that is really important to know for your CCNA examination. Also, you can see these addresses in several other YouTube videos. If you have still any doubt, or you can write down in the comment section also, I will try to help you. So this is it for this video, and in next video we will talk about a specific configuration in IPv4 addresses, network address translation, and what are the thing between these private and public, all these addresses. So I will try to explain that in the upcoming videos. So thank you for watching this video, and if you find this helpful, please leave a like, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you.